Good morning. Today I'm here with Will Maxwell of Into the Fog Band, and we're very excited to find out a little bit about what you guys have going on and some exciting news that you got to share about your upcoming tour.
I don't know. I grew up in Connecticut. Started playing music as a kid at hymn sings up in New Hampshire, actually, in the summer times. And I just got enthralled by watching my cousins play up in this little blacksmith shop that I wanted to pick up a violin, and picked up a cardboard violin when I was like 5 years old. And so from there I just started taking classical lessons, and then my dad got me into playing Celtic music and listening to Laura Risk CDs. I was just like learning half the songs by just listening to them and playing them, and then half of them by just looking at Mark O'Connor books and a lot of old-time fiddle books, and play a lot of fiddle competitions as a kid, and kept going with the orchestras. And when I got into college, I started realizing it was just like, I still wanted to keep it going, but I didn't really know what the whole world of improv was until I actually bombed out of college. I needed another opportunity to bring myself out of wherever I was in my life, and Violin kind of threw itself to me when I jumped on the stage with this guy named Jeremy Norris. From there, he forced me to learn every kind of genre and be able to improv on any kind of genre on the spot, going from Aretha Franklin to Sublime. And it was just the way he,
wide range.
Yeah, the way he moved an audience, I really dug it, and it was really fun to be able to kind of just figure out ways to just mesh these songs together. I always remember learning a little bit about how Bach used to have students sit around in circles, and they would just do improv sessions of classical. And with my professor, Dr. Gualdi, she kind of pushed towards that, where there were moments in our classical ensemble called the Accidentals where there was improv moments, and I always got a kick out of that, because every now and then I would feel at my house, I'll just turn classical on and try to improv to it, and it's just very technical improv.
You come from a very musical family.
Yeah, my dad was a great bass player in college. He was a classical guy. Would just tell me stories about just opening six-packs at UVA and just going through the whole Beethoven symphonies, and just every symphony just pop open another beer, and I was just that's cool and all. I didn't know if that was the drive when I was a kid, but he just had a very good ear about him, and it's still fun to this day when I go up to see him. I'll just tell him to play something, and I'll just try to write something over top of a little rhythm that he'll create, and it's funny how in sequence we are. And between doing that and going to Satellite, where they had this great bluegrass jam every Sunday,
Sure.
I eventually met this band called the Mid-Atlantic, and Jason Andre led it, and I had a couple bands that were asking at the time about trying to get a violinist, and I was still kind of learning my chops at the time, but I also wasn't too enthused by what was coming my way. And I just remember getting an email from Jason the next day after he told me he was interested, and I was like, all right, well, it's just another project. It might turn out all right, and
Sure.
get a 3-page email from him, and showing how enthusiastic they are to get this rolling. And the first day I met them, I just felt like it was just a band of brothers. It was such a fun time. For 3 or 4 years, we cruised around and wrote some amazing music together, and it really brought all the ambitions that I want now, to fruition. And so with all these guys that we just picked up with Brian Stevenson, Winston Mitchell, and Jesse Stockton, it's easier to see how to succeed now.
Right.
Ready?
All right, ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. When I woke up this morning, when my head is swollen, I would have done last night.
And it's great because all those guys are very technically savvy on their instruments, and all of them can sing.
How many gigs or shows are you playing right now locally? Are you guys playing on a weekly basis yet?
I say like right now, in the wintertime it's kind of hard to get a bunch of gigs rolling, but usually I'm playing like 3 to 4 times a week. Okay. And then the other times I'm just pretty much just hunkering down and trying to send off emails to festivals and to companies that could possibly endorse us for whatever we're wearing, whatever we're playing, you know, just to save $1 wherever we can. I mean, this is what it's all about to come to fruition right now, is that we're going to be really starting a media campaign to kind of bring up the fact that we're going to be going to Telluride.
Okay.
Telluride, Colorado, where they have the Telluride Bluegrass Festival. It's something that we're going to be trying to hit certain markers of being able to either just raise money, like $3,000 to $5,000 just to get on the road, or if we can just do a little more than that. We got to create a publicity campaign, like hire a publicist, save money for a future album, and maybe we'll go, upgrade to a Sprinter van, so we're not just like piling up in these tiny little seats in a 12 passengers. But
it'll make for a better documentary, though.
Either way, we'll make it work.
What do you see as your biggest hurdles from a business standpoint?
It's funny, like around here, it's like I'd love to be able to kind of capitalize on the market. It's a huge wedding town. And, for a musician, that's like the best way to be able to sustain yourself in that market. I could definitely get into teaching. I was talking with Ronald Sachs. I might start doing a master class there for improv. So it's like you have to really be an entrepreneur and thinking about ways you can make yourself a little more money. If I'm finding gigs for people, just be able to take like a 10% and be able to just, even if it's like 20, 30 bucks. I mean, you won't be making a hell of a lot of money just doing it locally, but you can at least not sell yourself out and have to give up your art by moving to like Nashville and just playing country music. I think there's nothing better than being able to like put your own music out there first and see if anybody thinks it's catchy.
Well, thank you for your time today, buddy.
Thank you, Jack.
Best of luck to you guys.
Appreciate it.